Welcome to the Path of Meditation course, the first of four Blue Magic Alchemy curriculum courses I'll be releasing through the Blue Magic Alchemy school community. Meditation is one of the things that has changed my life. It's one of the reasons that I'm here, and I don't say that lightly. It literally was the opening to my own spiritual awakening and transformation. It's something that has transformed my life, and I'm so grateful to be here to be able to share it with you. Because of that, I consider it one of the foundational practices of alchemy and is an indispensable practice for integration and spiritual development. There are so many types of meditation. In this course, we're going to be focusing mainly on mindfulness meditation, and much of this will come from the Buddhist tradition where I've practiced for over 20 years. For the last 7 years, I've practiced every day, and I'm really excited to share some of what I've learned along the way with you. In the path of alchemy and spiritual practice, there are paths and there are portals. Some practices we are doing on a daily basis, and it's more of a practice, right? These are the paths. Portals are things that we can jump through, uh, quantum leaps that we can take in our evolution. And meditation is definitely a path. There are so many ways to traverse it. There's many types of meditation, many different traditions. We'll start with the basics of the mindfulness meditation practice and journey into things that I've learned during my time on the path and lineages that I've connected with. So we'll be dipping into exploring the Zen Buddhist tradition, the Tibetan Buddhist tradition, as well as the Bhakti path, some more Hindu-based meditations, and who knows where we'll go. This is really a path of exploration together. Mindfulness is a simple practice, and we'll practice simply. There won't be any music. Some days there won't be very much direction, but the idea is to become familiar with yourself. In fact, the translation for the word that we now call meditation in the original language is to become familiar. Meditation in the Buddhist tradition is made up of two aspects: calm abiding, what we call shamatha, and special insight or vipassana. And in this course, we're going to explore both. In some traditions, these two aspects are separate, and in some, they're combined. But one thing that's certain is that it's very challenging to have insight without calm abiding. So that's a good place to start in our first week. And this is not about achieving something as much as it is to begin to explore and deepen the connection to yourself. And this is something that will serve you well when you're working in non ordinary states of consciousness. Meditation itself may be a doorway into non ordinary states of consciousness for you. But I invite you not to make that the point of your practice because this can be a recipe for frustration. There are so many things that meditation can help you with, and it's okay to set an intention when you begin. People approach meditation to feel more calm or grounded, or to be able to relax easier or become less reactive. You can also couple your intention with something that you're integrating in your own medicine work or your own spiritual practice, because meditation is like watering a seed or going to the gym. You probably aren't going to see a lot of results during the first few days, but that doesn't mean that it's not worthwhile to practice. And I always joke that there's a reason that people have done this simple practice for thousands of years. In the first few days, if you get frustrated, just remember that. Every day there's going to be a new practice. After the meditation practice itself, we'll go into a lesson. And then as we're doing the course live, there'll be time for Q&A. Some recommendations for integrating this course that I would give you. Um, even though we're going to be practicing every day for 30 days, meditation is really, I think, a lifelong journey. And so it's okay if at the end of the 30 days you're not a master. I certainly am not as well. The idea that I wanted for this course is to introduce you to some teachers and books and ways of practice that have been really influential to me over the last 20 odd years. And so as you finish this course, I really wanted to create something that you can come back to. So you could either come back to this course whenever you feel like you need a refresher. You might find that there are some of the meditations that you really like and bookmark them and use them to support your daily practice. I would also recommend maybe going through the course once every day, and then perhaps even on a second run, taking 3 to 5 days and repeating the same lesson each time to really allow that material to sink in, to give yourself time to reflect, as well as, um, just you'll notice that it might change as you change. So there's lots of different ways that you can apply these meditation lessons and into the rest of your life or your alchemical practice. Now, the other thing I wanted to show you before I wrap up this video is what it might look like to begin. Now, the nice thing about meditation is you really don't need that much to start. Really, if you have a Zoom connection so that you can connect to these calls, or an internet connection so that you can connect to the replays, you're well on your way. Another thing to have that is, preferable is a place that's relatively quiet, that you can expect to spend some time in and not be disturbed. However, even this is not essential. And in fact, when I first started meditating, I would I would practice on the train going to work, or in the middle of downtown LA where there was lots of noise. And that had some good effects as far as training my mind to be able to hold concentration and not get distracted by the sound and the hustle and bustle of life. But I wanted to show you my own setup as a way to maybe give you some inspiration.
There we go. So this is my own practice setup. There's a little altar or sacred space, and we can talk about that more. But you really can keep it simple. This is the cushion that I've had since I started practicing. I bought it in 2003. It's still good. It's nothing special. It's kind of, dirty now. I've had it for quite a lot, and it's traveled with me to several different places and states and even countries. But this is perfect for practicing. You can find this online at different meditation supply stores. You might even have a spiritual sort of metaphysics store in your town or city where you can go and buy one. But you don't really need something super, super complicated. This next one is something that I bought a couple of years ago. It's a lot more fancy, but it also does a really good job of sort of protecting your knees and supporting them. And as I've gotten older, is something that's really nice to have, but it's also a lot more expensive. So there's nothing wrong with starting with this. It's nice to have something underneath if you have a hard floor like I do, so that your knees are protected. But again, you could use a towel or a pillow. It doesn't have to be complicated. And I also wanted to just share with you that there are going to be some days where I practice from a chair. There's nothing wrong with sitting in a chair as long as that chair can really provide some solid back support for you, where you're not slouching, where you're able to sit upright, which is really the focus of that practice.
Every day we'll be doing our meditation practice live at 8 a.m. Pacific, and then the replays will be available on the Skool platform. It's designed to be modular. So I realize that not everyone is going to be able to join every day. So I really want this to be something where you can drop in when you're able to, and then catch up on other sections or go back to meditations at your own pace.